Alright, welcome back to another league race. This time we're with DNS. This time we are in Brazil, the second last round of the championship, and what a great start we have. It is raining for qualifying at Interlagos. That doesn't change a whole lot of things, really. It just means it's raining in qualifying. You still stick on the dry setup, and away you go. But heading into this one now, look, Brazil's not one of my better tracks, and I've been practicing a lot with no TC, and I decided to go medium in the end for consistency's sake. Here's my first lap, come across to P1, 20 flash, not a great lap in the wet. I had a few mistakes. I tried to go for a second lap, and I'm going to make the barest of extensions. And there you go, that's the validation, so congratulations. Invalidated lap there. So yeah, I mean, it's important to mention that SJD10 and Steve Patton were not here today, so my two main title rivals were not here, so the opportunity to take the lead in the championship was here today. Here is my second run. You see I'm up by 7/10. Like, the track did get quicker. Don't get me wrong, I put a much better lap together, but the track was getting quicker as well. Cross the line is going to be a 19.3, so I go for another run. I think I actually show all this lap in. I guess I can explain the title a bit. So SGD10 wasn't here today. I was 13 points behind heading into this one, so a spot on the podium would mean I move past him in the standings into first. So, and then Steve not being here tonight instantly eliminates him from the title. So so we are going to have a different title winner this year. Steve's won the first 2 seasons of DNS, so yeah, at least if nothing else, it would be a different champion, so that would be nice, because Steve was the benchmark. Like, in F1 2016 we were all trailing him quite significantly, I think, as well. At times we were all much, I know for me I was much slower than him. And then 2017 he was still he got the title in the end, and but kind of the gap was closing a bit as the end came, and then this last season one here in 2017 came. Anyways, meanwhile this lap has been going on. You can see purple sector 3, so I'm up by nearly half a second. Lose a bit of time coming out of this. Initially I lost a bit of time coming out of this last corner. A little wobble there, and yeah, gonna come across the line and gonna go pop into the 18s. It'll be 18.9. Sorry, high 18.8. And George is the one I was worried about at this stage, and we're gonna go for a bit of live radio from the quality itself.
No, too much life and hard work, French.
Here we go. Yes!
Fuck that. This is a league for fun.
So I was really happy to get that done. Pole position I knew was very important, so HYT did come close, 400ths, but the one I was worried about was George, and so having him start on the second row was big for me. So anyways, that is pole position. That's actually one, I think this could be my first one of the season, I'm not too sure. Oh, second one, sorry, we did get one in Japan. The second pole of the season, I think. So anyways, there you go. I'm in a really good position, feeling good. Sorry, I was actually 12 points behind. Here is the standing, so this is what we're playing for. Steve has missed the last 2 races, and which is unfortunate, but look, you have to be there to take advantage of who's there and who's not there. So anyways, with the rain, we can choose the strategy. I know from experience that my tried and trusted is the 2-stop. I do believe it is quicker. Yeah, so that's to see how it goes. So here we go, big chance to take the lead in the title. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5. Away we go. I was very nervous about that start. It was not a great start, but I've managed to keep with it, keep the lead. I'm going to have the lead heading into turn 1 here. And there's going to be commotion from behind, as there is not on pole, which is George and HYT. They kind of go side by side, and Caesar's in the mix there as well. Carl's going to have an accident behind as well, but for me, clean as you like away. That was a perfect start. Everything I could have wanted for, really, other than George getting by HYT and Caesar as well. So other than that, got a nice gap early on. I can just go for it. This is an aggressive strategy where you can just keep pushing. Tyre wear is high if you're doing the 1, but not if you're doing the 2. So we could afford to push here. So anyways, I for some reason I just left this lap in here, but like, it's fairly straightforward. You just take it as it comes. I could feel the pace difference between no traction and medium traction, but I just wanted, for consistency's sake and the fact I'm in the title race, I wanted to just keep with it, just keep it consistent. I didn't want to possibly lose a title based on a little mistake I made with no traction. I could have done it, but I just wanted to play it safe. So anyways, coming across the first lap there, we lead by about 2 seconds. So happy days. I'm sitting nicely at the moment. And lap 2, again, showing the pace here early on. I go fastest here. I think I'm going to do it 11.8, which I was actually really happy with. I've had plenty of practice sessions in the past for a TMC and the like where I've been in the 12s, but yeah, happy enough to be in the 8s. But as the kind of stint went on, I lost a bit of time, and I can't really pinpoint where. I did leave my throttle linearity on, not deliberately. So my going straight on my getting up to speed was affected very slightly, but not by that much. But you can see I'm gradually losing a bit of time as the stint has gone on, and this would continue the theme really across the stint. Again, lap 6 head on to lap 7. The gap, I think, is it less than a second now at this stage? It is. So I've been losing time gradually. It's like, oh, this is worrying. And now I'm thinking strategy. What am I to do? So I was doing the 2-stop. I didn't know what they were going to do. George and Caesar, they were running quite close behind. But ultimately, I was afraid of the undercut. They're in a position to undercut me significantly behind. Like if they could just react, like they could just do the opposite of what I do basically. And lap 10, you can see the tire is getting up there a bit. And I thought, yes, this is. I'm gonna have to try it. I could have gone a bit longer on these, and look, hindsight's 2020. I maybe would have, but going to the pits, cut off the undercut, and let's see what we can do. We're going to the super softs first, so that's what we're doing first here, and then going on to softs at the end. Should I have done softs first? Possibly, but look, we shall see how it turns out later. But we're going to pop out in 4th place. We're here behind Tez, who's yet to make a stop. So careful on exit. Don't want to be having another accident here. It was embarrassing, but no such issues this time, and we gun it out of the pits. And now it's hammer time. It's time to get to work. Well, actually, no. We'll discuss that in a sec. But the big thing was here is that Caesar and George they stayed out. They stayed out on the supers, and they extended the stint a few laps. Caesar here pit on lap 12 and lap 13. Sorry, no, this is me going to do the fastest lap of the race at this point. So 11.5 there. So, but you can see lap 13 they're still out on the supers. And I thought, are they trying to do the one stop? I had a feeling, suspicion. The longer they stayed out, the more they're trying to do the one stop possibly. But here we go. Caesar is in, he's on the mediums, and that, like, yep, that's the one stop. So I still felt okay at this stage. Okay, maybe I should still have victory here. There was complacency, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't stop pushing, but I thought I thought they would lose a lot more time in the one stop. Like, and you can see, like, Caesar is right behind me, and like, look how much time I gained with a few laps. I thought at this stage, like, yep, like look at the gap I've pulled out in a few laps. Like that's. I should be looking good here. And a lap later, George, not on pole, comes into the pits, does the same strategy. So again, he's going to come out similar to Caesar. I was hoping Caesar could jump him with the undercut, but it wasn't to be. And now it's hammer time. Now I know they're doing the one stop. Now it's hammer time. But I don't know. I just couldn't. They were too consistent on the mediums. Like they were, like I couldn't pull out a gap. I actually lost a few tenths ultimately in the end. Gap was about what you're going to see here. It's 5.4 seconds. You know that eventually comes down to 4.6 by the time I make my stop on lap 20. So I just couldn't make the most of it. Like, I don't know. Like Brazil's not one of my best tracks. Like don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I just couldn't hook it up properly. Like I just couldn't. As the tires went, just the mediums were much more consistent, and yeah, I just couldn't do enough with it. So, anyways, coming into lap 20 now, and lap 21, put onto these softs, and now I'm actually like I'm sweating. Like I'm thinking, oh, there's a good chance I'm not winning this race. And Trench, who left there, Trench was telling me in the party that they hadn't penalties. And I was thinking, shite, that was my one hope possibly, if I can't make this 2-stop work, that they have penalties, and they didn't have penalties. So I was thinking, this win has probably gone away, and that's ultimately what happened in the end. Like this, I couldn't catch them. Like I thought possibly that punctures could be on a softer tire. I could make inroads. I had 15 laps to kind of to get this done. If I make a second a lap possibly, but you know, they were like, my pace was consistent on these softs, like, but they were able to just do the same basically. Like the times were almost even. They really were. I was taking bits here and there. Like you see, 14 seconds basically is the gap that I have to make up. I was making bits here and there, but not enough to really reel them in. So, like lap 27, the gap's only 12.7. You know, so I just couldn't get it done today. Whether this is a good track for them and a bad track for me, and that kind of just the twos kind of came across, or their consistency. Like ultimately this was it. So they did basically how this race came down to is they did the one stop, I did the two stop, I lost, they won. Well, except George won. Caesar obviously came second, but that was it. Like that's honestly it. Like lap 36, their tires really fell off here near the end, and I was still holding out faint hope that possibly a puncture could be on the cards. Because I honestly gained like 2 or 3 seconds in this last lap, like these last 2 laps alone. You see the gap of 9.3. So there you go. George wins. Good win for George. Caesar came behind him in second with no penalties again for both of them. I'm here to pick up the pieces in third. So there you go. Look, I'm disappointed not to win. Obviously starting on pole, I usually have a good conversion rate from pole. Like once I start on pole, I generally do well to win the race, but this was one of the few times it didn't happen for me. Yeah, like what can I say? They did the two stop, I did the one. Or sorry, I did two stop. I did the two stop. They did the one. That was the difference in the end. So I'll get to it in a sec. But anyways, there's the two Mercedes boys. Mercedes 1-2. I'm disappointed. Like I am disappointed. But look, not much more I could have done. I genuinely believe the two stop was the way to go, and I still think that's the case. You can see there's a screenshot of that Caesar sent in after the race. Like they're so close to puncture range, they really are. Like if not, they should have gone. I really do think like if they had started on the racing, if it had been a dry qualifying session, they'd started on super softs, qualifying supers. They're probably gonna have to pit earlier, and then those mediums might have a bit more wear, and possibly that could have come into a puncture range. But it wasn't to be. So, and I'm just checking the lap times here. Like I was fairly consistent. Like I was in the 12s for pretty much all that second stint, and but the problem was so were they. So, apart from the end there. So, look, P3. The big thing is that I've taken the lead in the championship, and there's a possibility C might not be out next week. I'm not holding on to hopes yet. Abu Dhabi is one of my stronger tracks, so I'd be more than happy to take the title fight to him there if he was to race. But that's going to do it for round number 19 of DNS as Brazil. Disappointing not to win, but look, ultimately, I was just done on strategy today. So fair play to George and Caesar for getting that one done. And yeah, Abu Dhabi's next. I'm ahead. I can clinch the title. We shall see. I'm again. We'll see. I'm not expecting anything. What's going to happen there will happen there. So, anyways, until next time.